witches, you girls and demons, this is Nurse Hatchet. You are listening to the Wolf Pack.
The genre of horror is a great expanse.
Great expanse.
We want to explore it. We've spent years building our credibility, our reputation, interviewing people from all levels of horror, discussing visual and literary horror. This is our exploration. This is
Full Spectrum Horror.
Smoke weed every day.
Alright. You're gonna learn today.
Now I know why they call it Dead Man's Curve. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another interesting episode of Full Spectrum Horror. I'm your host, Christopher Highland, and with me, as always, is, what's his name again? Oh, yeah, Eric Morse. And you might catch him on the back of a motorcycle one of these days. Say hello, Eric.
I don't think so, Mr. Potter.
No?
And remember, it is Professor Snape to you, Potter.
Oh, you don't like motorcycles?
No, I don't. I don't go for motorcycles. I'm a wizard. You know that.
Hey, I think people would think a wizard riding a motorcycle would be pretty cool.
No, that's Hagrid's thing. Goran scares everybody. It is me, William Pattison, aka Eric Morris. I'm just sitting there screwing with Mr. Christopher Highland, the horror sex symbol, aka Horror Jesus. Still got the whiskers there, Horror Jesus?
The whiskers, but not the hair.
Okay, well, that's good enough. You know, I mean, if you see the new miniseries that they're doing on the History Channel, Jesus doesn't have long hair there.
I know all about that.
Yes, it's going to be very interesting. Anyway, so how's Gotham?
Warmer.
Yes, indeed. Same here. You know, it's hot. It actually got really hot in my room, so I had to put on my air conditioner. Yeah, because when it gets cold in my room, it gets real cold, and when it gets hot, it gets hot. Some are horrible for me.
Well, I know someone who overheats easily, but you know, I mean, they're diabetic, and anyone who is diabetic or who knows someone who's diabetic, they understand overheating.
Yes, indeed. Well, I don't have to worry about that. You know, everyone sits there and says, "Oh, well, you're fat because you overeat," and it's like, no, I have one meal a day. So there. You know, one meal is too much of a meal. Actually, tonight I had myself 2 Taco Bell nacho grillers and a Nachos Bel Grande.
Evil.
Yeah, well, a few years ago, you would have seen me having 2 XL chicken burritos, which are the big burritos. These are the little tiny burritos. And they're delicious, though.
all I can say is I'm glad I don't eat their food anymore because I got sick one too many times and it felt like there was an alien trying to burst out of my chest or somewhere else.
Yeah, well, yeah, you should go. You should go to Shanghai restaurant and ask for alien soup.
What?
Oh yeah, go to a Chinese restaurant and go. I want actually phone in and go. I want alien soup. Two orders of alien soup, and they'll go. What type of soup? Alien soup. With the eyeballs and the feet. Alien. I saw the UFO right behind your place. Alien soup is fantastic. Freak them out.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, my friend Rich Giordano did that.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's one of his classics. He recorded it and he puts it on his podcast once in a while. And he changes his voice. He goes, he starts out as a woman. I want some wontons and some alien soup. Two things of alien soup because it's so good. And they're going, what type of soup? Alien soup.
Yeah, but do they actually do they just how do I want to put this? Do they just whip something up on the fly and just guess what he means and when they deliver it and say here it is?
Nope, they didn't. They just said that they didn't have it.
And does he dress up as whoever he's portraying himself to be when they deliver stuff?
No.
Well,
But he did a good, when he called up this Shanghai restaurant, it was like, oh my God, he's sitting there, he's doing his wife, he's doing himself, and then he also has a little kid come in, mommy. That's funny. Now get off of there, dear. That's funny as shit. But anyways, yeah, so that's kind of my little plug for my buddy Rich Giordano and Goof On radio stream on YouTube. So you got to check out Rich Giordano for alien talk and stuff. Which also reminds me that we have our sponsor that we have to thank. And we have to do our duty, right, Mr. Highland? Yes, our sponsor, Toastios. I see it all the time. Your friends invite you out, and you're always busy. Eventually, they invite someone else, like, say, Christopher Highland. Do you really want Christopher Highland hanging out with your friends, taking selfies, bonding over chips and chips, becoming BFFs forever? Suddenly, you will find Christopher Highland at your sister's wedding where you're supposed to be, or even be her bridesmaid in your place. You really want Christopher Highland as a bridesmaid? I mean, give me a break. He doesn't look good in mauve. And you just got Christopher Highlanded. Don't get Christopher Highlanded. Get together already with Toastios. And I know Mr. Highland loves that. Well, you don't look good in mauve.
There needs to be more variations of that commercial.
I know. And the thing is, Mr. Highland, you don't have the knees for the dress.
Oh, how do you know?
Oh, I just know. Hairy man legs do not look good in a dress.
Well, that's why. Why am I thinking of lederhosen? Not that. Stockings. That's why
okay.
those exist.
Oh, Mr. Highland. I
Yes.
believe your guest is here.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Oh,
I
great. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing good.
Oh,
Good.
fine. I was just embarrassing Mr. Highland right now.
I know. I heard about the hairy legs in the dress, and I guess it depends on who you're talking to because I think hairy legs look great in a dress.
Okay.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Absolutely. The Scottish, they really have it right. They know what they're doing.
Oh, I know. I'm Scottish as well.
Totally hot. It's totally hot.
Yeah, I know.
I think the problem is sometimes men forget that there's women in the world, and we actually like to look at men too. I remember when I was growing up, they would talk about how that who wants to look at a man's ugly hairy legs, and I'm like, women and anybody gay? Hello.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Highland. Well, why don't you introduce our guest and
Yes.
it's your show anyways. I'm just the comedy side.
Yes. Well, for our listeners, I would like to cordially introduce our guest. Well, at this point, she really needs no introduction, but you know her by her famous name and her famous death scene, and especially what she's working on right now. But all that aside, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce Deborah Voorhees.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Well, it's our pleasure.
Oh, awesome.
Now, I'm sure our listeners are interested to know what it is you're working on now. And I'm sure, well, I know it's a very interesting film that I've been hearing more and more about from the past months called 13 Fanboy. Now, what is it that you can tell us about? I mean, what inspired it?
Well, 13 Fanboy is about a stalker who is an obsessed fan who is stalking the women of Friday the 13th. And this is very much a realistic type film. It is going to be mixing horror, thriller, and whodunit, because you won't know exactly who the killer is until the very end. But it is kind of think of like Cape Fear with the horror kills. That's very intense, hardcore thriller and horror all in one. It's really been inspired initially. The first idea came when my producing partner and I, we were talking, actually discussing a couple other films that we were working on together, and that we were trying to decide kind of what direction we wanted to go and such. And he just was curious. He asked me what it was like at the horror conventions, doing autographs and that sort of thing. And for those who don't know, I was in Friday the 13th. I was in part 5 and played the role of Tina. And you know, I was like, well, it's actually quite a lot of fun. Horror fans are very gracious and a lot of fun. And, you get to visit with people and stuff. And he said, well, is there ever a time when there's like, something uncomfortable? And I said, well, honestly, no, I haven't experienced that at a horror convention. But I have had a couple situations that were a little bit unnerving. And I told him about being messaged on Facebook Messenger from someone who was like, wouldn't it be cool if you died like you did in Friday the 13th in real life? And I was just like, whoa. Actually, no. Being brutally murdered is not on the top of my list of things I want to accomplish. It's not even on my bucket list. Go figure. I think most of us would have had that, but not me. And that was a bit disturbing. And I'm not the only one that's had it. And so was it a fan? Was it somebody playing a practical joke? I don't know. Either way, not funny. Then, but the one that disturbed me the most was because it came on my personal phone. And somebody sent me a series of texts basically making it clear they knew me from Friday the 13th, that the person was, I'm assuming was male, and I suppose I shouldn't assume it's male because it may not be, but I was assumed, so I would say he suggested that he was watching me at that moment, and I happened to be working in my office, and it was dark outside, and I had been kind of looking outside, and so all I can see is just a little outline of trees and stuff, and of course I'm a little bit freaked out then, and he's made it clear he means me harm. And I tried to figure out who it was, then I blocked the number and everything. And then, nothing ever came of it or anything. So, once again, fan, practical joke, either way, not funny to me. But my producing partner, his name is Joel Paul Rysick, and he's really, really a smart producer. He's got like 25 films under his belt, all of which have had distribution, and anybody who knows anything about indie filmmaking knows that is a huge feat in itself. And anyway, he said that this is a movie. The chills went up my spine, and it was like, oh, hell no. This is not something I want to get into. And up until that moment and that day, I never, ever said out loud that one little thing in the back of my head that, thought, what if there was somebody out there, like that? What if there was, somebody, crazy out there? And so it really hit a nerve, and it hit way too close to home. And I literally had many sleepless nights, and I literally sat there pacing and thinking about it, and it's like, oh, do I want to open this can of worms? And I guess ultimately I decided that, oh my gosh, this is scaring the shit out of me. I can scare people with this. This can make a great movie. And ultimately I had to decide, if somebody, there's, when there are people out there like this, obviously celebrities have had stalkers who have, either meant harm or have done them harm. And, so it's not like this opens up a door where it gives people ideas. It just is what it is. It's, I guess, art, marrying reflecting life. And
very much so.
And I think it also gives a good opportunity to bring attention to the issue. one of the things that very much so surprised me, because at this point I've had an opportunity to contact and talk to several different alum from the Friday the 13th, and the number of women who have had stalkers was very surprising. As most everybody knows, that Adrienne King had problems with a stalker, and then Judy Aronson had a stalker, and Laura Lincoln had a stalker as well. That's pretty insane when you really think about it, that many. You think of it more as something rare that doesn't happen that often. And all three were very serious situations. So, and now that I've kind of gotten an idea and stuff, I realized that there's probably more people out there. And so I feel like it's timely. It's Friday the 13th. I do think horror fans are absolutely amazing. But anytime you have, this many people who are, infatuated, obsessed, not necessarily in a bad way, and in a good way for most fans. I mean, you're looking at, 99% just amazing people that are just fun to hang out with and really cool and all of that. But there's bound to be somebody in the mix that's a little off balance. And so I think that it kind of gives a bit of a primal kind of fear to the film, because it feels extremely realistic. I don't know, like the people who have done the stalking on the film, are they fans? Are they just crazy people who, have fixated on the person? I don't know. But it makes a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Because if I recall, Wes Craven, the thing is, when he did New Nightmare, that was because of Heather Langenkamp and her stalker.
I heard that she had one, but I don't know much about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that inspired New Nightmare. So this is actually really good, because this is kind of like the New Nightmare of Friday the 13th, where reality and fantasy mix.
Right. Well, in this case, this is much more Cape Fear with horror kills. That's it's yes, it is a horror film, but it is very realistic.
Yeah. Oh, understood.
I guess you could say it's meta in a way.
Yeah. Very much meta. Yeah.
Would you agree on that, or no?
The best way that I can describe it is the way I did. The other film that I've really looked to is the film Hush and Cape Fear. Both of those have a very intense thriller horror aspect to it. Of course, in both those situations, you know who the killer is from the beginning, and in this one, it definitely has a whodunit element, because you don't know until later, really to the end.
That's actually a treat, because in a lot of horror movies, there is not a mystery aspect. I mean, that doesn't happen often enough.
Right. I like a mystery. That's what really draws me in. I can enjoy a Friday the 13th film, but I don't find Friday the 13th or Halloween to be scary. To me, they're, it's more and you know the audience laughs and has fun, and I think it's more like kind of like that Saturday, the horror version of a Saturday swashbuckler, the old pirate movies, go and see that Saturday afternoon matinee kind of thing. Loads of fun. Everybody wants to see what kind of kills they are. It's, of course, I do jump, and it's like, but it's in a kind of a, ooh, that one got me. Ooh, that one got me kind of thing,
Yeah.
But it's not like you walk out of there and you're afraid that when you go through the cemetery and, a guy's going to come up from the grave and get you.
Yeah.
Maybe some people are, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a...
Best way to
Oh,
describe a slasher film is it's in a hyper reality where it's not real, so it's easier to tolerate.
Right. It's exactly, and that's what I think makes it something that people enjoy. I mean, to me, a lot of the horror fans, they really love the special effects, and they love to see and how it's done, and they're always really impressed when it looks realistic. And but I think horror fans are very aware that it's not real. It's it's that fun scare, and at the end, the lights come up and everybody's safe and you leave. Whereas when you're watching something like Cape Fear, it's like, oh my God, this could actually happen. And when you're walking out to your car, it's hard not to kind of look around you. That fear kind of goes with you because it is so realistic.
You reminded me of an observation of mine I had a few years ago regarding the MPAA and what kind of stuff they go after. And basically, it boils down to they go after the more realistic stuff more and the fantasy stuff less.
You're
in
talking
other
about
words,
in the gore, when they come down against the gore? Is that what you mean?
Yes. In other words, they go after movies such as the Friday the 13th movies more and the Elm Street movies less.
Huh.
Now, I could be wrong, but that's just my observation.
Right.
You can find out that say like the MMPA, I mean, remember, one of the more disturbing films that came out years ago, Schindler's List, where the scene with, truly horrifying, but the MMPA did not even flinch on that, whereas Friday the 13th, they were giving them just note upon note of what you have to cut out.
Right.
That's just the way it is with them. They've kind of knocked it down quite a bit. I've actually been surprised at what people have been able to get away with here in recent years when it came to gore and stuff, that the MMPA hasn't, some of the ones they would have honestly given it an X rating around 1990 and stuff, but now it's like, oh no, that's an R. That's okay, it's an R.
Right. Yeah, I know they do have some rather unusual rules, and I don't know all the reasoning, but I do remember that there was an issue that if they are, when the stab is done, at least when I was doing it, they didn't, how did they do that? It was one time when I was killed 3 times in a film. One was stabbed in the chest, one was cut on the throat. And there was, even though it was a throat slash, they had rules about the blood dripping from the neck down toward the breast for some reason. It was kind of a weird thing. And so we had to do a couple of reshoots to avoid that. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I understand the reasoning behind it. I mean, I think it's good to give everybody an idea of, you know, basically it's just to give, I think, parents an idea of what to expect so that they know whether or not they want to take their kid to a certain film rated a certain rating. And I understand that. That doesn't really bother me. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't really want to see either. So I'm fine with that.
I've said in the past regarding some content of these films, context is very important regarding what's shown and how it affects people and who it affects.
Right.
I mean, not everyone's going to be affected in the exact same way.
No, of course not. Of course not. That's where I think that horror fans are so different than a lot of audiences. Is I really found the horror fans to be more fascinated with the art. You know, how do they do that? How does Tom Savini accomplish that special effect? You know, oh wow, that looks so real. It's not, oh my God, they just ripped that human being up. You know, like, you know, you brought up Schindler's List. I mean, that was truly horrifying because it was real. It was very real.
Yeah. And what was amazing with Schindler's List was that they didn't really show anything. All they had to do was put the people in the shower area and just focus the camera on the shower heads.
Right. Yeah, no, it was really, I sat down to watch it. I watched part 1, and the friend I was with said, you know, by the time part 1 was over, I was so completely horrified and exhausted from it. You know, it was like, okay, yeah, we're going to finish it now because I'm never watching this again because it's just completely and utterly painful to comprehend that human beings could do that to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas with Friday the 13th, nobody thinks this guy who, okay, a kid drowns in a lake, yet comes back as a fully grown man and is randomly killing all these people, and not a single person who is ever responsible for allowing him to drown was ever held accountable. You know, so there's nothing realistic. You know, you can't look at that. I mean, like I said, you know, you still jump in things, but it's not like that serious in your gut, you know, rip your heart out, you know, reality that comes with something like Schindler's List.
No. I mean, in Friday the 13th, you didn't even know who the very first counselors to die were, and it turns out it was Mrs. Voorhees killing the 2 counselors who were making love while Jason was drowning.
Right. Yeah, supposedly, but then that doesn't make sense either, because why would she be killing two counselors while he's drowning? She would be out there keeping him from drowning. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, supposedly this was later on, after
Right.
he supposedly died, she
After,
found out who they
right.
were and killed them. But
Right.
yeah, it's interesting when you actually look at Friday the 13th and okay, why, what is Jason's motive operandi, and it's
Right.
changed slightly over the years, but it's still interesting.
Yeah, no, and I think the thing I find the most interesting is just how it has continued to thrive, and the horror fan base is still so huge, for that particular franchise.
Yeah, I mean, you look at how many years it took them to actually do Freddy versus Jason. What was it, about 8 or 9 years?
Mm-hmm.
With Jason X probably a few years before, and and then after that, they had to wait a little while for the what I call the Padalecki sequel, which was the supposed remake, which isn't really a remake, it's more of a sequel.
Right.
Yeah. I kind of feel sorry for Padalecki, though. I mean, he look at the two films that he actually was in for horror. I mean, he was in House of Wax, and then he did the Friday the 13th remake, which a lot of the fans don't really like. And the only good thing that he's ever good movie, well, not even a movie, he's done 14 years of Supernatural.
Mm-hmm.
Funny.
Well, I'd say that was pretty damn successful.
Yeah, that is. It's just like him and Jensen. Jensen was actually in My Bloody Valentine 3D at the same time that Padalecki was doing the Friday the 13th remake.
Right. Well, the thing is, I mean, an unsuccessful or an unloved film in Friday the 13th realm is still loved, because the one thing I find that somebody will say, oh, I hated this one or I hated that one. And I mean, like, well, you went to see it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I have the DVD and the Blu-ray, and I have them all signed, and I have the poster. So being a film that's not everybody's favorite isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
In the Friday, at least not in Friday the 13th realm.
No. I mean, it's just like in Nightmare on Elm Street. Everyone screams about the Dream Child, but everybody buys the figures. They have the poster. As you said, DVD, and that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, so you can't really say that it wasn't successful. I mean, it's very successful.
Yeah.
And I think it has to be somewhat loved, or they wouldn't have done all that. I think sometimes people just like to chatter, have an opinion, say something. And it's like, well, I see your collection. You have, and don't forget, not only do you have the Blu-ray and the DVD, but you also have the box collection version of it. And oh yeah, isn't that the there's your action figure from there too. So
Oh yeah, because I absolutely hate Part 7, but I have the big ass NECA Jason Voorhees from that with the sound effects.
There you go.
Oh my.
Yeah, I know, Mr. Highland. How about your collection, Mr. Highland? What you got?
nothing compared to yours.
Oh, I know. I actually
It's
went through
very
and
scaled
bought.
down.
I actually bought almost. I've almost got every Jason figure. Believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, I even found one of the Part 9 Jasons too. I was surprised to find that. Love that. Love that one though. That one's, I think of as the atomic waste Jason.
Oh, is
Right.
it photorealistic?
Not bad. Not bad. They did a pretty good job on it. You know. The one I really like is I like the one in the remake. That one was really good. They did a really good job on that, Jason. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but oh my god, that was a hell of a Jason. Anyways, I mean, I that scene where he's just running at the girl and he's got the machete and he just flings brings the machete in a turn and just power hits her in the head.
Right.
Whoa. And I still wonder how they managed to do that without having the actress get a concussion, because they cut the shot right just before he hit, and that looked just powerful as hell.
I really don't know what they did in that case, but I know it's done sometimes. Or do you want to know, or would you rather not?
Oh, I love to. I have friends, special effects people in that. So
very often, what they do is they do a reversal, so you can make it feel like it's a really powerful move, but it's actually a reversal.
Yeah, I'm remembering this one scene in this one movie. I'd rather not mention because it's just unnerving. But what they did there is what you just said. They reversed everything.
Highland, you open the door. What movie?
Superman 3, and I'm sure you know what scene I'm talking about.
Superman 3. No, actually, I don't.
Where the lady gets pulled into the computer.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that scene did not belong in that movie.
No, it didn't.
It belonged in a horror movie.
Yeah, but a lot of things didn't belong in Superman 3. I mean,
you don't put a scary scene in a movie aimed at children.
Yeah, well, you don't also have wind up penguins in a Superman scene either. Hate those wind up penguins. They freak me out. Seriously. Those were creepy ass penguins. Anyways. Of course, Mr. Highland can tell you that I'm also afraid of those little chupacabra dogs and the Pomeranians.
Oh, yeah.
Those things scare the crap out of me. Yeah, well, I actually had 12 of them attack me in my legs, so...
How did you end up with being around 12 of them?
There was this lady who had 12... she had Pomeranians and whatever the hell their names are, the chupacabra dogs. The one little Yoda creeps. And she was walking these things, and I'm walking and I'm trying to go past her, and she goes, "Oh no, my dogs won't hurt you. And then all of a sudden I hear this, go for my legs.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah, they still creep me out. And I have to thank my sister for giving, every year she gives me a chupacabra dog thing as a present.
So you have a sister who likes to torment you, I take it.
Yeah. Last year she gave me a stuffed little chupacabra dog that had Taco Bell on it.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, so yeah, you've got a pretty good group together too. I mean, hell, you got Tom Matthews, which is pretty awesome.
Right.
Mr. Highland said that you got Kane.
Right. And we have
CJ.
We have Judy Aronson, Tracy Savage. We have Judy Aronson. We have we have quite a cast, and then we just signed Dee Wallace on for our lead, and I couldn't be more thrilled with such a horror icon.
Whoa, Dee Wallace. Whoa.
Yep.
And Cujo lady.
Yep. Yep. And the Howling and E.T. and I mean tons of them, tons of films.
Oh yeah, well I mean she kicked the butt of the critters. She fucking the shit out of Cujo. I mean that's that's what you call I mean we should send her after Michael Myers.
Well, and she was in Halloween too.
Yeah, she was, wasn't she?
Don't forget the Frighteners.
Yep, and the Frighteners.
She was nuts in that one.
Yeah. No, she's been in some amazing films, and I'm super thrilled to be with her, working with her. And then we've got from Never Hike Alone, we have Vincent DeSante and Andrew Laity, and then Haley Greenbauer is another one of our leads. She's not new to acting. She's been acting since she was a kid, and she's a brilliant actress. And but she's one of our leads as well with Dee Wallace. So it's going to be pretty exciting. We've got Ron Sloan too, and he's got a brilliant role in the film. And we've got Carol Locatell is going to do a cameo with us.
Oh, wow.
And we're just in the middle of, I had I can't name the name yet because I've got to wait for the ink to dry, but a major rock and roller contacted me about wanting to be involved in the film, so we're going to have some of that music and a cameo from the rock and rollers. So I think everybody's going to be pretty thrilled when they hear about that one. So.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Highland, I know you're too shy to ask, but I mean, because you're the you're the Friday the 13th Part 5 super fan.
I am.
Hell yeah, he loves Corey Feldman. He actually
Yep.
number 4.
Oh yeah, we missed that one. We have Corey Feldman too.
Oh yeah, I mean I just saw his last role that he did just recently, where he was the transvestite vampire. Oh my flipping god, he was good.
I heard he was brilliant in that. I've got to see that. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I have had more than one people tell me he was freaking brilliant in it.
Oh yeah,
I really liked him a lot.
yeah, I know. I mean, Mr. Highland's, that's one of his favorites.
I know
Yeah.
that one.
Oh, I know you like Tom Matthews as well. For some reason, I keep
Oh, yeah.
trying to call him Thom, but it's Tom. Because I know I
remember-
met Tom at Epic Con, and he says, no, it's Tom.
Right.
I remember spotting him in, what's that one movie? The Woman in Red. I'm watching that, and I see him in there, and I say to myself, hey, it's Tom Matthews. What are you doing there?
Yeah, wasn't that pre-Friday the 13th, too, when he did?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because let's see, Jason Lives was his big horror intro, and then he did Return of the Living Dead, the two sequels.
Oh, well, it was right before.
It was?
Yes.
Holy crap, I didn't know that. I thought it was after, but
Well,
okay. Okay. Good deal.
Yeah.
You know more.
Yes, yes, I do. You might laugh at this, Deb. That's Return of the Living Dead is one of those movies that grosses me out.
Really?
Yes, because of all the slimy zombies.
Yeah.
It grossed me out so much I couldn't eat for the rest of the day. And it's contributed to me eating considerably less red meat.
Yeah, but this is also the guy who couldn't eat a pizza for 10 years because he saw what was it, Dream Master?
You mean sausage pizza?
Yeah. Yeah, because all he do is see those little faces on there. Which reminds me, Mr. Highland, Papa John's has sausage and pepperoni pizzas now. So you'll be extra happy. Alrighty, so
Yeah, you're gonna prank me now with this, aren't you?
no.
No, okay. All
No,
right.
or I'm not gonna prank you there, boy. No, Hulkamaniac doesn't do that.
Going back to what we discussed before, I'm reminded of the book and movie called The Fan. I don't know if you're familiar with either one.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I must mention that the book is different from the movie. The book, as I understand it, is a series of letters. And for the movie, they changed the ending because of John Lennon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the movie came out a few months after that.
Yeah, well, I saw the movie myself, and I think the ending is actually more appropriate.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing was when I saw the film, I saw it in the theater, and everyone was applauding Morgan Fairchild at the end of that movie.
That wasn't Morgan Fairchild. That was Lauren Bacall.
Okay, yeah, it is Lauren Bacall. Okay, God, where did I get? Oh, there was another film that was that had Morgan Fairchild in it. That was similar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't get my movies straight sometimes. But yeah, Lauren. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. That actually gets a little bit more gross when you think about it.
Why?
Young guy obsessing about real old actress.
Sorry, hang on. Rosebud, stop it.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, my little puppy dog is going nuts. Hey, stop it. No barking. No barking. Come here.
What type of
probably
dog you
has
got?
some. She goes crazy when the elk get in the yard, and I'm sure there's one out there. I just can't see it. Rosebud, come here. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, no problem.
Come here, sweetheart. She's new to the world. She's 4 months old and crazy. Come on.
Oh.
Come on, Rosebud.
That's cool. We love doggies. Oh, Mr.
Right.
Highland, he loves doggies, don't you, Mr. Highland?
Mhm.
I'm a fan of the puppy dogs too.
Yeah, I'm more of a cat person myself.
Are ya?
Yeah, I prefer something that's more independent. Like right now I've got my cat Balcazar, Emperor of Evil, Child of Destruction, who has decided that he owns the pillows on my bed. So he's laying on the pillows of my bed, looking at me like, well, what are you looking at? These are mine.
Oh.
And it's like, excuse me, Chubby, no, those are not yours. 25-pound cat.
Oh man, that's a big one.
Yeah, and he still runs too, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, he runs even better when my sister's Bengal cat gets upstairs, because he's running for his life. Man, you talk about having Jason Voorhees on your back. Just if you're a regular cat, have a Bengal after you. Woo, boy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because Bengals do not consider other cats kindred, so they attack like prey.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's how it is in my house.
Did not know that. Interesting.
So what else can you tell us about the production of 13 Fanboy?
Well, we're in pre-production right now, and that means we're working on all the logistics, and it's a lot of work, and we're going to be filming partially in New Mexico and partially in LA. And then one other major city yet to be named that for a convention scene, horror convention scene. And so, yeah, it's we're pretty excited about it and definitely ready to get moving. You know, we've you may know that we signed on Nora Hewitt to do the special effects, and she won season 9 of the Face Off.
Nice.
And for those who don't know that, that's a special effects competition where the best of the best compete. She is Tom Savini's protege, and he is who recommended her to us. So we're very excited about having her on board. She's bright and brilliant. She knows her stuff, and she's helping us to create some really badass kills.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah, and I do have to say that I love the mask that you guys had for
Well,
it.
thanks. That's designed by Marcio Charlie out of Brazil. It was it's an original mask designed specifically for 13 Fanboy. So I'm very thrilled to have an artist of his caliber to have created it. I gave him the basic, concept, and gave him a couple of photos with some basic ideas. But he took it and really made it his own and did a brilliant job of it.
Yeah, I have to say that thing is very disturbing.
Yes, it is. It certainly is.
And the way it's almost like the Kylo Ren helmet, in that when you see it from different angles, the expression changes slightly.
Right. Yeah,
So
no, it's
very
crazy.
impressive.
Thinking about it, it looks organic.
Yeah, it's crazy. He did a fantastic job.
I mean, thinking of masks that are in these types of films, I mean, you don't see a mask that looks organic.
Yeah.
That's unique.
Yeah, he did a brilliant job, no doubt about it.
Yeah, definitely. I put that one up with the mask that was in the film Curtains. The old hag mask that they used. Oh man, that thing was impressive too.
Right. Yeah, I was very pleased. Now listen, guys, I need to wind it up and get some things handled here at the house, but I really appreciate you taking time to chat with me. This has been a blast. You guys are so much fun.
Thank you.
And I so appreciate it. If you have another question or something, I'd be happy to answer it. I just got to wind things up.
Oh, I was just wondering what going to these conventions and talking with fans over the years. Is there anything that you remember specifically that you've learned?
What do you mean that I've learned?
Not quite sure how to put it. Just
learned about fans or learned about what?
Well, I guess life in general.
Well, I just learned that, that horror fans are, a lot of fun and interesting, and they're very loyal fans. They, are just, just really pretty cool, fun people.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Eric, do you have?
Oh no! I'm very satisfied with what I've heard.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to the film. Definitely, I'm going to keep an eye on the Facebook page and that.
Oh, great! You're in the group. Everybody's in the group.
Yes.
I know Chris. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay, terrific. So yeah, good to hear. So yeah, and if anybody out there wants to join, it's Deborah Voorhees Sheer Horror group on Facebook, and sheer is spelled like garden shears, as in the way I died. I've had a couple people try and correct me on it. I'm like, nope, it's a play on words.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so much. You guys take
You're
care.
welcome. You too.
Alrighty.
Have a good night. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. All right, Mr. Highland. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it is time for us to talk about our movie.
Oh, wait a minute. Are we going to do news and reviews first?
No, we have had a guest, so we're doing everything in reverse.
Backwards?
Yes.
Man, that's a new one on me. That's going to mess up our listeners. They're expecting.
No, they're going to wait. They're going to have to wait a little bit for the good stuff.
Well, the good stuff's talking about the movie.
Exactly. This is the good stuff. But the other good stuff.
Yeah, but it's not as good as the movie discussion.
Yeah, I know. So we're giving it to him right now. Because, that's the way we're doing it tonight.
Okay. All right. Fine. Well, as you know, this is about a very obscure movie, and I'm glad I heard about it. I didn't know about it until a few months ago, called I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle. And it is incredibly trashy, but not too trashy. Funny, but not too funny.
Are you sure that we saw the same film? Because I mean, I saw this incredible blockbuster film called I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle, and it had the incredible special effects and stuff, and the premier acting, the Academy Award style stuff that just brought tears to my eyes, from Bill Morrissey, Amanda Noor, and Michael F. Nick.
Oh, is that who they are?
Yeah.
The only name that sticks out for me.
I mean, we have to talk about blockbuster director Dirk Campbell.
Never heard of him before. Wonder what else he's done.
Never heard of the famous British director and film person, or not television person. I mean, television person. Dick Campbell. No?
Nope.
No?
Don't know him. Mm-mm.
Oh my God! He was the guy who did the television the 3-season long television show Boone.
Don't know it.
Yeah, and the thing is that everyone on in this film were cast members of Boone.
Well, it's a British show, so no wonder I don't know it. I mean, there are a lot of British shows that I've never heard about.
Yeah. Well, you should be ashamed, Mr. Highland. You got to get into being a Boone head. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So I bought a vampire motorcycle. I'm surprised none of the people that's watching know about this film, because this is an incredible film, isn't it, Mr. Highland?
Yes, it deserves to be well known among horror fans,
Yes, it does.
especially among horror comedy fans.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you,
people.
I mean, you could have this. You could have this. Let's see. Along with, you could stack this up against any trauma comedies.
Oh, give me a break, Mr. Highland. It's forget Shaun of the Dead. It's no, we bought, I bought a vampire motorcycle that outdoes it. And the reason why, Mr. Highland, is because of the incredible, outstanding performance by Michael Epling as Inspector Cleaver.
Yeah, he was pretty funny in that movie. Oh my God, definitely doing a riff on Inspector Clouseau, but basically doing his own thing.
I honestly thought of him more as a combination of Clouseau and Columbo, because he kind of had Columbo feel about it. Yes, sir. I'm just here doing this, and the disheveled inspector kind of look. Didn't you get that, Mr. Highland?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And he was just awesome. I mean, he made this film. He really did. And it's unfortunate that his character really doesn't come to a conclusion in this film. I mean, he just shows up, they do some great scenes with him, and then he disappears towards the end. Didn't you think?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we also have to deal with our the incredible, I mean, seriously, the incredible superstar role that was in this film. You know who I'm talking about, Mr. Highland, don't you?
Anthony Daniels.
Hell yes, C-3PO. The only time we see Anthony Daniels doing anything but C-3PO, he's the priest in this film.
You think anyone mentions this movie to him at conventions or anything?
Don't think so, which is a shame.
But now that this movie has been remastered and on DVD and Blu-ray, I'm sure he's gonna hear more about it.
Oh, yes.
People are
I
going to
mean,
be coming out in droves and
Well-
with the DVD and Blu-ray copies of this. And well, I don't know.
Well, of course.
If, I don't know if posters
now they're
exist.
really going to be now they're going to be saying, "Oh, forget about C-3PO. We like the priest." Yeah, because we saw it. I bought a vampire motorcycle, and
and people are going to be showing up to horror conventions in souped up, tricked out vampire motorcycles that they made themselves.
Yeah,
You know it's going to happen
dressed
at
up
some
as
point.
priests.
You know it's going to happen, and they're gonna demand that Anthony Daniels come to a horror convention.
Of course, and you're gonna have all these guys,
dressed as a priest.
little fat guys with beards, and dressing up in trench coats and being Inspector Cleaver and coming up.
Yeah, and
I saw you in that movie. Oh man,
you're gonna have tons of bikers going to these conventions saying, "Yeah, we love vampire motorcycle." Yeah.
Yeah, and then
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Oh, seriously?
No, it's
and then they're gonna have people dressing up as Naughty and Kim from this. Oh yeah, I mean, we've forgotten about the incredible performance of Neil Morrissey and Amanda Noor. Real life husband and wife too.
I didn't know that.
Oh yes. Well, see, I did my homework, Mr. Highland.
One time
I
didn't.
actually found out this stuff. I knew something that Mr. Highland didn't know. Yeah. So now, they're going to have Naughty and Kim fan clubs and stuff. Because William and Christopher Highland talked about this on Full Spectrum Horror. They've actually hit big time now.
We are bringing this movie back.
Yes, we're bringing it to the world out there. We're doing it for you, brothers and sisters.
Because it needs to be. It's one of those 90s horror movies that needs to be known. It's not one of those 90 movies that is underrated or
oh my god, I forgot,
or overrated but actually sucks or whatever. I mean, no, this is actually good. This is actually a good movie.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot the other fantastic performance by a celebrity in this film.
Cool.
Kato from the Inspector Clouseau films is in it. Bert Kwok.
Oh wait, was he in that
Chinese food restaurant? He was a guy that was sitting there, doing the incredible performance, just sitting there staring at him.
It is odd that that was him, and he doesn't say anything, and or did he say anything? I can't remember.
No.
Okay, all right. And
he just
that doesn't make any sense. You get someone like him, and he has no lines.
Nope.
So basically, I don't know.
He did such an incredible job, though, Mr. Highland. I mean, you felt it. You felt his Chinese food man. He was Fu King. He was the Fu King in that film. I mean, I'll see people coming to the horror conventions dressed as Fu King.
No.
No,
You could.
no food king.
Yeah, no. One of the bikers from the movie, the inspector from the movie, but
Well, of
him,
course,
no.
people are gonna dress like George Rossi's Chopper or
Yeah,
Midget
and
Toad.
yeah, and they'll have fake arrows sticking out of them.
Actually, Mr.
Or
Highland,
fake spikes.
you could be Midget Taylor's Toad.
Code.
Yeah, Toad, one of the bikers.
Oh, I see.
Don't you remember Toad? The one with the glasses? Looks like you.
What's in mind? I'd have to look again.
Yeah, you're going to have to, aren't you? I'm going to have to
Mhm.
really, really do that. And then of course, we do have to pay homage to Brandon Donison's incredible Satanist.
Oh, at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's rather unexpected that they get killed off at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, he was the one that gave the blood, and I think he was a vampire too. He was a vampire Satanist.
No, he got possessed.
Oh, okay.
He got possessed by a vampire demon.
Oh, okay. And because he bled on the motorcycle.
In the gas tank.
Oh God, we're giving out spoilers. Oh my God, whip, 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 bad boy, bad boy. Bad dummy, no, bad.
Well, it's not a murder mystery, for Christ's sake.
Bad dummy. God, I'm actually enjoying us talking about this better than actually watching the movie.
Ouch. Oh, come on. It's not that bad of a movie. I mean, let's
No, it isn't. It isn't. That's the funny part of it.
There are worse.
It was done on a junk budget, but it is, they did such a good job. And I think what that reason why is because these people were so used to working on such a low budget, when they were working on Boone, because I mean, seriously, British comedies have near to no budget. That's why Are You Being Served takes place pretty much, all the time on the same set. Of course, I know that, Mr. Highland loves Are You Being Served, don't you, Mr. Highland?
God, I can't remember the last time I saw that.
Are you free? I'm free. Oh my God. Did I ever tell you that I met the gay guy from that?
No.
Yeah, in San Francisco. Pretty cool. Yeah, I was at a convention, and not a gay convention, no, but a sci-fi convention, and he happened to be in town, and he went to the convention, and I ran into him. And so I got a chance to tell him how much I enjoyed Mr. Humphreys from it. And this was of course, before they did the sequel series to, Are You Being Served Again, which was in the hotel. But Yeah, loved Are You Being Served? Well, what sucked was, did you know how long a season of Are You Being Served was? Which
Not
showed
that
you
long.
British comedy, about British comedy. A season of Are You Being Served was only 6 episodes.
Yeah, their shows aren't that long, which is just nuts.
Yeah, so 6 episodes, and they had to wait another year. And they did that show for 15 years. So, you know. And then they did the sequel series for, what was it, 2 seasons. And the thing was that, God, what was it? They actually gave him 10 episodes at that point. That was when they decided to change a little bit, because they were putting these shows on American markets and they needed more episodes. You know, of course, that was at the time when Doctor Who actually had 24 episodes a season, which sucks. Now we only get 10. What did you think of that new the new Doctor Who?
I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I haven't watched it for years.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what doctor were you on when you left?
Matt Smith.
Okay, yeah. So you missed Capaldi in that. Kind of a shame. Of course, I like Matt Smith too. Oh, by the way, Mr. Highland, Matt Smith's going to be in the new Star Wars. So you'll be happy. Your favorite Doctor's going to be in it.
He's not my favorite Doctor.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Okay, which Doctor's your favorite?
I guess Tom Baker.
You too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine's Tom Baker and David Tennant. They're kind of equal on that.
Sylvester McCoy is a close second, and he would have done even better if he was given more of a chance.
Oh yeah, definitely.
To have more seasons.
Oh yeah, because the first season that he had was a lot of leftovers from the Colin Baker thing.
Yeah.
That kind of sucked. But anyways, back to our fantastic blockbuster here from England. Yeah,
I've been thinking if this movie ever gets remade, it would probably be basically a rehash, but with a lot more blood and guts. I mean, a lot more fake blood splash all over the place.
You think so, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think there was enough blood in this one. And I did like the spiky death metal thing that the motorcycle changed into. With the headlight mouth. Oh, I forgot.
I can imagine also, aside from the blood, there would be more special effects and stunts and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, and I do have to apologize. That was another spoiler. Bad dummy. No. Bad dummy. Okay. I feel better. Don't you feel better, Mr. Highland, now? Well, I mean, you have to go into this with a little humor. I mean, seriously, it's a movie about a vampire motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I
Yeah,
honestly,
you don't have many horror movies about possessed vehicles,
motorcycles.
especially but even among those, there's only one movie that's about a vampire motorcycle. I mean, you don't have any vampire couches or anything like that,
No, yeah,
or vampire condoms. I mean,
oh,
there was that.
don't even talk to me about the vampire condom film.
I mean, there was that killer condom movie, but that wasn't a vampire condom.
The killer condom movie.
Yeah.
No, let's not talk about that. That is just gross.
I mean, there's no other vampire possessed inanimate object movies. I mean, this is it. This is the only one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. These people, I mean, Dirk Campbell was breaking ground. He was the Jordan Peele of the 90s, breaking new ground. So I bought a vampire motorcycle is the Get Out of the 1990s.
Yeah, and if this movie doesn't inspire people to custom make their own motorcycle in the style of the motorcycle in this movie was then horror fans are going to be disappointed.
Well, the thing is, from what I hear, that those Norton motorcycles are really hard to get.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they can customize another kind of motorcycle.
Yeah, they probably have to.
Yeah.
I mean, they could make a Norton tank and put it on it, but a Norton motorcycle is supposed to be really hard to find. In England, you can't find them here.
Oh.
Yeah, because Norton was a British motorcycle company.
Oh.
You didn't know about Norton motorcycles, Mr. Highland, huh?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Now, let's see. I was trying to find out how much the budget was on this, and they don't have any information on how much the budget was for the film.
That's odd. I'm sure it was considerable, and as I said, it could stand to be remade. And I mean, I can imagine there being an American remake of this. But if there was, I hope it would retain the humor as well, or it might pour on even more black humor. I mean, you never know.
Well,
But it should be, or who knows? I mean, who are those? The people behind Shaun of the Dead. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
It could be their production. I mean, they could remake it. You never know.
Yeah, they could, but
They might.
I'm thinking more than likely what's going to happen is our dear buddy Derek Young's going to grab onto this and get his friend John Birmingham to make it.
But But as I said, there could stand to be more gore and more blood. Because remember the part where all those heads are lined up when the cops show up?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking to
Those were
myself,
fantastic heads,
I'm
by the way.
thinking,
They did
yes,
a
I'm
good
thinking,
job.
I'm thinking to myself, okay, shouldn't there be more blood?
Yeah.
There's hardly any.
Yeah. Yeah, but
That's
as
where a remake would come in.
Highland, we'll see if we can get Derek Young to make a remake.
But there has to be realistic looking blood, not the
Yes,
stuff from
and
way back
we have to
when.
get Anthony Daniels and Burt Kwonk back.
Well, if Anthony Daniels don't do it, I mean, I'm sure there could be someone to.
Oh no. We gotta have Anthony Daniels.
Really?
Burt Kwonk back. We gotta have the real Fu King. I mean, there's no one else can do Fu King. That's right up there with Sure Enough. You can't have anyone else do Sure Enough, Shogun of Harlem.
That actor's dead.
Who?
Remember the Kato actor's dead?
No.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yes, he is.
Oh my God, I'm broken up. Now I'm gonna have to do another memorial appreciation message for him.
In a possible remake, you can get oh damn it, I can't remember his name, but he got his head bashed in by on The Walking Dead by Negan.
No, too young.
Really? Oh, come on! You don't think he would do that?
No. God, what's his name? God damn it! The one that does the kung fu movies.
Oh, Jackie Chan. Really?
Yeah, get Jackie Chan as Fu King. Okay, we'll do that.
All right. Okay.
We'll find out if Derek can afford him. Of course, more than likely he'll have Wong Tong from Waikiki Chinese food do it, which will be horrible. Because we need someone special for that role. I mean, seriously. I mean, and we have to dedicate it to Bert for, the only Fu King. That'd be like trying to recast Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. We don't do that. We don't recast Mr. Miyagi, do we, Mr. Highland?
Mm-hmm. True.
No. We would beat our heads against the wall before we did that. Alrighty. So, anyways, anything more you want to say on this movie?
No, not really. Other than that, I was pleasantly surprised at how good it was and how delicious in every way, from visually, and it really hits that sweet spot. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it because it will surprise you and you will love it. I can't recommend it enough.
Yes, and I say to Scream Factory, get us a special edition version of this with a new poster and a Fu King action figure. What do you say about that, Mr. Highland?
All right.
Yes, Fu King action figure for that.
Yeah. I was about to say, if people can cosplay as the truck that hit Gage in Pet Cemetery, then they can cosplay as a Fu King restaurant.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, anyways, got to remind people that Mr. Highland spent the entire month going all over looking for the music for our music break. I mean, he works hard on that. He suffers. His fingers bleed to try to find music.
Yes, I work hard for the money.
Yes, you do. So let's get ready for our music break and intermission. So catch it if you go, go to the potty, go get yourself a new drink, whatever. The next part of the show is fan-flippin-tastic. So catch you then.
Tooling down the highway doing 79. I'm a twin pipe papa and I'm feeling fine. Hey man, dig that. Was that a red stop sign? Transfusion, I'm just a solid mess of contusions. Never, never, never gonna speed again. Slip the blood to me, bud. I jump in my rod about 9:15. I gotta make a date with that chick of mine. I cross the center line, man, you gotta make time. Transfusion, oh man, I got the cotton-picking convolutions. I'm never, never, never gonna speed again. Shoot the juice to me, Bruce. My foot's on the throttle and it's made of lead, but I'm a fast-riding daddy with a real cool head. I'm gonna pass a truck on the hill ahead. Transfusion, my red corpuscles are in mass confusion. Never, never, never gonna speed again. Pour the crimson in me, Jimson. I took a little drink and I'm a-feeling right. I can fly right over everything in sight. There's a slow-poking cat, I'm gonna pass him on the right. Transfusion, I'm a real gone pale-face, and that's no illusion. I'm a never, never, never gonna speed again. Pass the claret to me, Barrett. Rolling down the mountain on a rainy day. Oh, when you see me coming, better start to pray. I'm a cutting up the road and I'm the boss all the way. Transfusion, oh doc, pardon me for this crazy intrusion. I'm never, never, never gonna speed again. Pump the fluid in me, Louie. I'm burning up the freeway early this morning. I'm a-passing everybody, oh nothing but corn, man, out of my way. I don't drive with my horn. Transfusion, oh nurse, I'm gonna make a new resolution. I'm never, never, never gonna speed again. Put a gallon in me, Allen. Oh, barnyard drivers are found in 2 classes, line crowding hogs and speeding jackasses. So remember to slow down today. Hey, Daddy-O, make that type O, huh? Attaboy.
ghost crowds a young child's fragile eggshell mind. Blood in the streets in the town of New Haven. Blood stains the roofs and the palm trees of Venice. Blood in my love in the terrible summer. Bloody red sun of fantastic LA. Blood squeeze the brain and chop off the fingers. Blood will be born in the birth of a nation. Blood is the rose of mysterious union. Dead blood in the streets, it's up to my ankles. Blood in the streets, it's up to my knee. Blood in the streets, the town of Chicago. Blood on the rise is following me.
Book your hotel on Priceline, and you can save up to 40% off Expedia and Travelocity. You choose the price, neighborhood, and a 2, 3, or 4-star hotel, and they'll find it. Hey, of course, as the Priceline spokesman, I get to stay for free.
Oh, Bill. I thought it was room service.
Priceline, the best choice in travel.
Hello, my she-devils and demons. This is Nurse Hatchet, she-wolf of the Wolf Pack.
Alrighty, so that was our intermission and music break. Are you there, Mr. Highland?
Sure am.
Cool. Yeah, I had trouble getting off the mute here. It was rather difficult. So I know Mr. Highland's all excited because he's spent the entire month looking over the internet, looking for that weird, that strange, that horror news just for you.
Yes, I certainly am. Let's see. And I have this all written down, and I will just go in the order I have it. A book called The Nosferatu Story, which details the production of the movie Nosferatu, will be released April 2nd. And out now is Death Instinct by Bentley Little. That's now on Audible. I read that book a few years ago. That one was pretty good. And have you read that one?
Which one was it?
Death Instinct.
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Well, that one was Bentley Little's. That was one of his better ones, at least for me. Also, and this is coming out next year. This is a movie about the movie Wolfen. This is a documentary. It's called Uncovering Wolfen. So look for that sometime next year. Also, I do have a update on a previous news item. The Nest by Gregory A. Douglas will be in paperback, April 2nd. And I believe also at the same time in Kindle as well.
Cool.
Next, in paperback form, Nightshade and Damnations by Gerald Kirsch. That's coming out March 26th, even though that is already released on Audible. Next, sometime later this year, from Valancourt, Wisteria Cottage by Robert M. Coates. That's a book from 1948. So look for that. Next, and this one is, I'm very pleasantly surprised. Everyone is, well, I'm sure there are a lot of fans who love the movie Audition, but what people may or may not know is that was adapted from a Japanese novel by Ryu Murakami. And the audiobook of that will be released May 31st. So look for that. And next is a DVD, and let's see, is it also coming on Blu-ray? Yes. DVD and Blu-ray of the movie The Nightcomers by Michael Winner. I've never heard of this movie before, and I guess this is might be a British movie, but anyway, this will be released on DVD and Blu-ray May 7th. So look for that, and also the movie Killing Spree, another movie I've never heard of, will be released on Blu-ray May 14th. And from the picture, it looks to be a grindhouse movie. A lot of severed heads and disembodied people cut in half and so forth. So look for that May 14th. And last, but certainly not the least, an update on Brian Lumley's books coming out on audio. From his Necroscope series, Dead Speak, and that's the fourth book in the series. That has just been finished being narrated, so that any time now that'll be released. Could be any day now, next few months, thereabouts, who knows. So look for that. And of course, Psych Mock will be released sometime later this year. Okay, that's all I have.
Alrighty, well, it is my turn, and you know what that means, collectors fans. It's time for the toys. Good boy.
Toys.
Oh yes, we got the goodies, and I know Mr. Highland's gonna want at least I know you're absolutely gonna want the first thing that I got here. Oh yes.
What might that be?
You're gonna be pre-ordering this definitely. Funko will release Slimer cereal this summer exclusively at GameStop, where you can pre-order a box for $7.99. The Ghostbusters themed green multi-grain cereal includes a Slimer mini pop vinyl figure. So I know Mr. Highland's going to be, just running to GameStop to put his $7.99 in for that. Alrighty, so next, NECA will release a 1/4 scale version of its Halloween 2018 Michael Myers toy from Halloween 2018 in the third quarter of the year. As revealed at Toy Fair, the action figure stands 18 inches tall and features 25 points of articulation. It comes with knife, hammer, and a severed head. Also, NECA will release a clothed action figure of Sam from Trick or Treat in the third quarter of 2019, in line with NECA's 8-inch scale toy. Sam stands 5.5 inches tall and is dressed in footy pajamas. It's fully articulated, including the jaw, and includes removable burlap sack, removable burlap mask, burlap sack, and lollipop. Also, NECA will release a clothed action figure of Decker from Nightbreed in the third quarter of 2019. The 8-inch toy is fully posable and comes with a knife and a briefcase that opens to reveal 3 more removable weapons. Also, NECA's upcoming Pennywise toy promises to be the most elaborate clothed figure ever. Each costume is individually sewn in high-end fabrics based on Bill Skarsgård portrayal in It 2017. The 8-inch figure includes 2 interchangeable heads, 3 hands, a red balloon. Look for it in the third quarter of 2019. Okay, now the last part is a DVD, or well, Blu-ray, I should say, and it's not Scream Factory, so I'm having to mention it here. But I know Mr. Highland's going to definitely want this too. It was announced last month that Pet Sematary was being released on 4K Ultra High D and Blu-ray for its 30th anniversary. Mondo is producing a limited edition steelbook version featuring artwork by Mike Saputo with spot varnish. Alrighty, so that's horror news. Next, we have, of course, our Scream Factory releases. And I know Mr. Highland's all excited about this, because I know how much he loves Scream Factory. Yes, indeed. Alrighty, so our first one is definitely a classic. I know Mr. Highland loves this one. Is Scream Factory is coming out with Monster on Campus. It's on Blu-ray. Currently, you can get it for $21.99. List price is $26.99. Let's see. Synopsis. A monster born in a college lab. Atmospheric and suspenseful. A good dose of action. A good old-fashioned creature feature that hit all the right notes and never failed to entertain. That's from the Telltale Mind. Fear stalks a seemingly tranquil hall of Dunsfield University with the arrival of a prehistoric fish. The terror begins when a student dog laps up water that has been contaminated by the fish and turns into a savage wolf attacking Madeline Howard, Joanne Moore from Touch of Evil. The school's paleontologist, Professor Donald Blake, played by Arthur France from the Caine Mutiny, is accidentally bitten by the fish and blacks out only to find that a hulking beast has killed one of his friends. Somehow, contact with the fish's prehistoric blood causes a total collapse of evolution, turning animals and humans into mindless monsters. I remember this one. I saw it on Creature Features a long time ago. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Very, very good Creature Features, definitely. Alrighty, so next, this is probably one that you would have gone for, Mr. Highland. It's the Boris Karloff Bela Lugosi collection. It goes for $55.97 Blu-ray. Extras are in progress right now, so yeah. So any collection includes the Black Cat, the Raven, the Invisible Ray, and Black Friday. So some really good ones. Alrighty, here's another classic that they have. That just came out. The Monolith Monsters. Do you remember that one, Mr. Highland?
No.
I do. It's actually pretty good. It's $21.99. List price is $26.99. Once again, Blu-ray. I don't know why they don't have any DVDs for you, Mr. Highland. Synopsis: they crush all that stand in their path. A giant meteor crashes to Earth near the small town of San Angelo, and local geologist Ben Gilbert, Phil Haley of the Deadly Mantis, brings a fragment back to his lab for testing. Shortly afterwards, fellow geologist Dave Miller, Grant Williams from The Leech Woman, arrives to find the lab filled with rocks and Ben dead, his body turned completely to stone. Now in a desperate race against time, Dave and Professor Arthur Flanders, Trevor Bardet from Death Valley days must unlock the secret of the deadly rocks from outer space before they turn the world to stone and destroy mankind. Also featuring Lola Albright from Peyton Place, William Scarlett, the man from Planet X, and Troy Donahue, Monster on Campus.
Flanders.
All right. And the next one that I have is a collector's edition, and it's a collector's edition of an absolute favorite of mine. And I know Mr. Highland would absolutely want it. Unfortunately, it's Blu-ray again. You definitely got to get a Blu-ray player because you're missing out on
I know.
When's somebody going to buy you a Blu-ray player for your birthday? Just tell them, I want a Blu-ray player. Anyways, collector's edition of Frankenstein Created Woman. $28.43. Regular price is $29.99. And so you get a exclusive 18 by 24 rolled posters featuring the new artwork while supplies last. Synopsis: she's a vision of loveliness with a murderous mission from beyond the grave. In this most conceptually wild and outrightly science fictional of the Hammer Frankenstein films, from Mora Science Fiction and Horror and Fantasy Film Review, Baron Frankenstein and Dr. Hertz upon an experiment to capture the souls of the dead and impose them on other bodies. When their assistant Hans is unjustly accused of murdering his girlfriend Christina's father and is himself put to death, the two men claim his body and trap his soul in their laboratory. Meanwhile, Christina is consumed with grief over the death of her beloved Hans and commits suicide. Frankenstein and Dr. Hertz are able to transfer Hans' soul into Christina's healing body, which results in a vision of beauty. Their experiments appear successful until Frankenstein discovers that Christina's seductive appetites are being driven by the spirit of Hans and his passion for vengeance. Yeah, I love that one. Alrighty, here's our final one, and I know, Mr. Yeah, they actually got a. Oh, it's still Blu-ray. Damn, Mr. Highland, I'm sorry, because I know you're gonna want this one. It's the Green Inferno Collector's Edition with exclusive poster. $28.43 for it. $29.99 list price. And it comes with an 18 by 24 inch rolled poster of their brand new artwork. Fantastic. Synopsis: a glorious throwback to drive-in movies of our youth. Bloody, gripping, but you can't look away. Stephen King. The mastermind behind the Hostel franchise and Cabin Fever horror auteur, Eli Roth, serves up a feast of gut-wrenching terror in the gruesome fear-fest Green Inferno. Determined to protect the Amazon rainforest, a group of student activists fly to Peru only to crash land deep in the jungle. Captured by a pack of bloodthirsty cannibals, the survivors suffer unspeakable acts of butchery at the hands of the very tribe they were trying to save. A non-stop barrage of carnage and chills. Green Inferno is an unhinged blast. Original motion picture soundtrack by Manuel Rivera. Okay, so anyways, let's see. Do they have any extras here? Special features includes exclusive original CD soundtrack of the music track, and includes bonus music tracks. New Into the Green Inferno, an interview with co-writer, producer, director Eli Roth. New Uncivilized Behavior, Method Acting in the Green Inferno, featuring interviews with actors Lorenza Izzo, Daryl Sabana, and Kurt Bliss Blandon. Behind the scenes footage, nearly an hour of never before seen footage. Audio commentary with co-writer, producer, director Eli Roth, producer Nicholas Lopez, and cast members from before. Original publicity featurette including making of The Green Inferno, theatrical trailer, TV spots, still gallery, village construction, publicity stills. Yeah, so pretty cool stuff, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Mr. Highland? Huh?
That's an impressive setup.
Okay. Alrighty, so now it is time for movie reviews. And I know Mr. Highland's got a few good movie reviews for us.
Okay, I completely forgot. Let's see. Okay, I'll go through the newest one first. Overlord. Well, basically, it's a World War II movie, but it involves, well, it's not the usual kind of zombies, but these are more medically enhanced zombies. They paratroopers go down to, can't remember, somewhere in France, but they need to take out this radio tower, and in the midst of all this, they discover this lab that's hidden away, and all these people are being experimented on, and it's decided that the radio tower and the lab are going to get taken out. And the overall concept of the zombies, I mean, it's different, and I found it interesting, and it's more of an action story than horror, but it manages to sprinkle the horror here and there, so it's not overbearing. See, what rating would I give this? I would say a 4 out of 5.
Cool.
And next, let's see, I'll discuss. Oh yeah, Cameron's Closet. Now, I read the book for this beforehand, and I gotta tell you, the book is much, much better than this. The movie, basically, it feels like a TV movie. I mean, they cut a lot out of what was in the movie. I mean, in the book. More people in the book get killed. There's just more story to it, and it could stand to get remade. But it's, for those who aren't familiar with the story, it's about this kid who gets experimented on by his father, and the kid develops psychic powers, and at some point there's this monstrous demon who lives in his closet, and in the book it's mostly confined to his closet, but the movie deviates from that. I mean, the movie, as I said, the movie cuts out a lot. I mean, the movie cuts out a lot of gore that was in the book. But the book doesn't. It's not heavy-handed with blood and gore, but it's still good. the ending to the story, it's more satisfying in the book than the movie. The movie, it just feels cheap. Which goes back to what I said before, feeling like a TV movie. But it's just odd that this movie was in theaters. I mean, they should have been, they should have had a bigger budget. They should have been, the script should have been better. But that's me. As for the movie, I would say it's 2.5 out of 5. The book, however, I would give it a 375 out of 5. Yes, as we were just discussing before we were cut off, I was discussing What Have You Done to Solange? It is in my opinion, a rather below average Italian horror movie, a murder mystery, but see it if you're curious. It's rather a by the numbers Italian murder mystery, but there are better Italian horror movies out there. But see this one if you're curious, but don't expect much. It's definitely a 2 out of 5. And that's all I have.
Alrighty, well, then I'll start with this one, which is going to be amusing because, by the fact that great minds think alike. You had Overlord. I got its horrible older brother from 2014 called Zombie Isle. This is not to be mistaken for Zombie Island. This is called Zombie Isle. And this film is about it's in the late 70s. A group of college students and their professor venture to an uninhabited island for a day exploring fauna and, to have co-ed fun and all that. And what ends up happening is they find out that the island is infested with zombies. And these zombies were reanimated by a Nazi scientist who resurrects and controls the dead. Okay. This film is absolutely horrible. The acting is annoying. The special effects suck. I mean, they have a whole bunch of zombies that are supposed to have their lips ripped off, and the teeth look way too big to be human teeth. There's this one scene where they're going to pull out this pencil after they've stabbed a zombie in the head with it. Well, actually, it's a pen. And the thing is, they pull off some of the zombie makeup with it. Just horrible production quality, horrible acting, royally, absolutely disgusting. attempt at a zombie movie. Let's put it that way. And let me see here. Got my little notes here. The writer and director Robert Elkins should be shot. You know, unfortunately, our meter does not give us negative numbers. So, you know, all I'm going to say is that this film is a complete and utter pustule on the zombie genre. Alrighty, Mr. Highland, I'm gonna ask you, do you wanna know you want me to talk about the best film or the raunchiest film?
Raunchiest.
Alrighty, raunchiest film coming right up. And this film is a film that was actually kicked off of Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime VOD. Video on demand. Because they found it was too violent, too gory, and too raunchy for their service. So they kicked it off. It's a comedy. It's a comedy horror film. And it's a film that was actually worked on by our dear friend Derek Young's buddy, Billy Blair. He's the one who came up with the original story concept for this. And this film was directed by Todd Jenkins, who is also in the film. And the film is called Cherokee Creek. And Cherokee Creek tells the story of a bachelor party where the guys what happens is in the beginning of the film, the bachelor is kidnapped by his friends, dragged out into the woods to have a camping trip bachelor party because the main character, the bachelor, the guy who's getting married, he's got a girlfriend who is overly controlling and did not want him to go to a club, get drunk, and, have strippers all over him. So his friends, who are independent horror filmmakers, and one of them is an action star, Billy Blair, who plays in it. He plays Don. What's the name of his character? Because it's funny. His character's called Vinny Blades, and he's this sexy action star. Anyways, the thing is that they end up they're in the woods. Vinny and the other guys, Jinx and Pat, along with another guy. I'm trying to remember his name. What was his name? Jarrett. The thing is that they brought beer, and Jinx, who is this real misogynistic guy. He's ordered strippers for it. And real tacky looking strippers. I mean, seriously. The one girl kind of reminds me of Rebecca Herzberg. If Rebecca Herzberg was wearing a pink wig. I mean, this woman has the micro thin lips like that. Oh, God. Anyways, well, the thing is that what these guys do not know is that they are in the territory of a rather angry Bigfoot. And the Jinx knew that this was Bigfoot country anyways. So the thing is that he went and he hired a guy to dress up as Bigfoot to scare the guys as a joke. Unfortunately, the thing is that the guy ends up getting killed by the real Bigfoot. Anyway, so the thing is that the fiance ends up finding out that because Jinx goes and puts up the bachelor party on Facebook, and the fiance finds out that they have strippers. Of course, the fiance, she was at the male bar, the male stripper bar, having fun and all this. And so she gets all pissed off, and she's coming down to confront her boyfriend. So anyways, the thing is that what ends up happening is that people start getting killed. And there's just this one incredible scene where pink-haired, no lips stripper girl and Jinx, she's giving him a blowjob in the scene, and the thing is that Bigfoot comes up behind her and rips her head off, and she's got his you-know-what in her mouth and ends up ripping his dick off.
Oh, my God.
And they have this one shot. This is a spoiler, so too bad, guys. You get a full frontal of Jinx with his dick bit off. And Bigfoot is, tosses her around, and Jinx is running around, going, oh my God, oh my dick, my dick, and shit. So anyways, he gets killed by Bigfoot, but Billy Blair, he comes around, he finds the hooker, decapitated, finds Jinx's dick in her mouth, and he starts walking around trying to find his friend, because he has his dick. And so he puts the dick he puts the dick in the where they have the beers, the cooler. So anyways, they're towards the end, the fiance shows up. Her boyfriend is running around trying to get away from Bigfoot. Billy Blair's the last guy to get killed. But anyway, she gets to the thing all pissed off, and she's going, where are they? And she's going, oh my God, they have beer. And she opened up the thing, and she sees this dick in the thing. And she just lets out this scream and starts running. Oh my God! Oh my God! There's a dick in the. Anyway, so she ends up she's running away from Bigfoot, and the thing is that she runs into her fiance. They're the only two survivors, but the police show up. Well, actually, park rangers show up, and they think that they killed the other ones. They don't believe it that it's the Bigfoot. So, anyways, yeah, this one was a rarity for me because in this new age that we're going into, where we have really exceptionally good horror films that don't have sex, don't have a lot of gore and stuff. This film was gory as shit. It was raunchy as hell. And I have to say that Billy Blair and his people did an outstanding job on this. This is going to be a cult classic. Seriously.
Oh man.
And
well, you're gonna have to send me some information about this. Oh my God! I mean,
yeah, definitely gotta send you some information on this one because this
I'll have to find it.
fucking awesome. This movie is fucking awesome. It is outstanding. I give it 5 points on this for being one of those rare, excessively raunchy, hilarious horror comedies that just pushes everything. I mean, they nothing that is like MMPA. I don't care.
It makes me think of Wolf Cop.
Really?
Yeah.
I never really got to see Wolf Cop or Wolf Cop 2.
Oh, I haven't seen the sequel yet, but some point.
You would probably remember Billy Blair. I mean, he has just unique looking. I remember him from he played a vampire in this one film, and he was just unique because he's got these eyes and stuff, and just outstanding actor. Yeah, I actually met him at Martinsville Horror Fest. He was there. So this is pretty cool. He's a buddy of Derek's. Anyways, all right. So we got this superior piece of work. Now, for my last one, I have got a film that jumps genres and is just incredibly amazing. It doesn't fit into the genres. I mean, you've got adventure, drama, sci-fi, and horror in this. How you like that, Mr. Highland?
Everything, or most everything rolled up into one.
Yeah. And this is one that I definitely recommend you check out. It's called The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that one.
This film is absolutely amazing because of the fact that everything in the title happens in the film, but the film is not about either one of those things. How do you like that?
Oh, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah, Sam Elliott plays this gentleman named Calvin Barr, and Calvin Barr is a war veteran. And Calvin Barr was actually the man who killed Hitler. He killed Hitler 4 years before Hitler was supposedly died. He had went on to a mission to kill Hitler, and he spent months trailing Hitler across the country, and he finds him at this one outpost. He comes in as a Gestapo agent, and walking with a German Shepherd. This is another actor that plays him, though. This is I can't remember who the actor was. Let's see. I've got my notes here. But anyways, he does a fantastic job too. Oh, Aidan Turner. He plays the younger Calvin. But Sam Elliott, he plays the older Calvin. And the thing is, the whole thing about this story is that before Calvin joined the army, he had fallen in love. And he found the girl of his dreams, and that she was a teacher. And he goes into the army. He ends up going into the special forces, and he becomes an assassin. And after he kills Hitler, he ends up being put into kind of like they had to give him a new identity, because they thought, okay, well, he killed Hitler, everybody's going to be after him. So he sits off the rest of the war. He can't go home, so he loses his girlfriend. He can't even write her and tell her that he's alive or anything because of his mission. She knew he was, he was an assassin in that. Well, anyway, so he loses his girlfriend. She ends up spending the rest of her life as a school teacher and never marries and dies. And where we meet up with Calvin, he's an old man. He lives in a house pretty much by himself with his dog. He's managed to get in touch with his family, though, so they know he's alive. He goes and he visits his brother, who's a barber, and his brother does his hair for him and stuff. And they, he's able to have a relationship with his brother. So anyways, he's just sitting at home waiting to die. He's got an old television and that, and he's, drinking. He goes to the bar every day and sits by himself and drinks. And that's pretty much his life. Well, anyways, what ends up happening is some FBI agents show up at his house and say that his country needs him again because there's only 2 people who can take on this mission that he has to do, which is the thing is that what's happened is that a Bigfoot has contracted a disease, a virus that is really bad on humans, and people have been dying in the forest. And they've had to put a border around this place of, forest area. And what they're going to do is they're going to send Calvin in because they found out that he is immune. He's one of 2 people who is immune to this this disease that this Bigfoot has. And so he's going to have, because the other person who's immune is a 12-year-old boy. So no way. So Calvin ends up, he has to go into the forest and kill Bigfoot and burn him so that, they do, so that the disease doesn't go out. Now, this part of it, believe it or not, Mr. Highland, this part of the film lasts about 10 minutes. And they cut. They show him going into the forest, and the thing is, they've got the forest barricaded with flames around it. And then all of a sudden, they show him, and he's tracked down the Bigfoot, and he shoots it. But he only wounds it. So the rest of the 10 minutes, he's tracking him down, and he ends up fighting with the Bigfoot and kills it. So anyways, the thing is that after that, once again, they move him out of his house, move him away, and he's not supposed to see his family or anything again. He's changed identities yet again. But he ends up, he goes to see, he's had an honorable burial. But he ends up, he goes and he sees his brother. And that's pretty much how the film ends, is that he goes and he sees his brother and he's back to the same old thing, just waiting to die. But it's a unique film. I liked how they handled the World War II stuff. I didn't like how they handled the Bigfoot stuff. The Bigfoot in this the costume does not look good. And I think because they wanted to make it look like a sick Bigfoot because it was very skinny and it had white eyes. So not really, not really the Bigfoot that we think about. And as I said, it was mostly a profile on Calvin and how this one act that he did to save his country destroyed his life. And the fact was that he went and he killed Hitler and it didn't change anything. The war went on the way that it was going. You know, he killed the monster, but the monster still continued. So, you know, interesting film. I mean, I give it 4 stars. It's definitely worth watching. It's not a horror film. It's not a science fiction film. It's more of a profile on a man. But it's well worth watching. So anyways, so that's the man who killed Hitler and the Bigfoot. So what do you think, Mr. Highland, after hearing about that?
Okay.
Okay. I like that. Anyway, so any last words there, Mr. Highland, for the fans?
No, other than I'd like to thank our listeners for listening and putting up with our technical difficulties, and because we sure had. And tune in next time for oh god, what the hell are we gonna discuss next time? You remember?
I don't know. Actually, I do, but it's going to be another weird one.
Yeah, I already saw it. I didn't really think much of it.
Okay. I haven't watched it yet.
Should I tell them now, or should it?
No, we'll surprise them with it. We want to surprise them with these blockbuster films that we're
They're not block. The one for next month is even less of a blockbuster. More of a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I love it. All right.
Hopefully, we could get the director on.
Oh God, no!
Embarrass the hell out of them. Embarrass the hell out of them.
Please don't do that, please. Alrighty, so anyways, yeah, so be ready next month for another big blockbuster, incredible Academy Award film that we will be disgusting.
Yeah, we're going to be discussing a dumpster fire.
As always, keep America strong, watch horror films. That's it for Full Spectrum of Horror. Catch you later.
The love that you bring me along. The pain that you gives me a home. Do you wanna stay by my side? Do you want me to turn and hide? We are disappearing inside, seeing pictures of our goodbyes. We believe that our love will survive the pain that you bring. Brings me all alone. Do you love me? Do you hate me? Do you wanna believe me? Do you think that you don't need me? Do you wanna deceive me? I
the international.